Hi everyone, welcome to Storytime with SheNANNAgans. I'm Lynn and I'm down at the beach today and I can hear the waves crashing and I've seen a few seagulls too. Now this story, it's about a seagull and her name is Samantha. It's called Samantha, Seagulls, Sandals. It was written by Gordon Winch and illustrated, that means the pictures inside were drawn by Tony Oliver. And it's a story about Samantha and she wants to be different from all the other seagulls. So let's go inside and see what she does to be different. I think you'll find it a bit funny. A long time ago, there lived a young silver gull who wanted to be different. Her name was Samantha. "Why am I the same as all the other young gulls?" she asked Hector the hermit crab, who was old and wise. Can you see Hector? He's there inside his little house, that's his shell. The same grey bill, the same grey legs, the same grey feet. "I want to be different. I want to be different right now." "Ho ho," said Hector the hermit crab, in his voice as deep as the ocean. "You will be different one day. Wait and see." But Samantha could not wait. She thought and thought until she had a bright idea. "I know what I'll do," she said to herself. "I'll buy some shoes and then I will be different." So Samantha went to the shoe shop and bought a pair of high-heeled shoes. "How smart and how different I am," she said as she stepped onto the beach. Have you seen a seagull wearing shoes like that before? I haven't. In fact, I've never seen a seagull wearing shoes. Have you? Squelch! The heels of her shoes sank deep into the sand and Samantha was stuck where she stood. "Don't be a silly seagull, Samantha," said her friend Simon as he helped her out. "I like you as you are. You are the most beautiful seagull in the whole world. That's different enough for me." He was a kind friend, wasn't he? The other seagulls laughed and laughed, and Samantha felt embarrassed. Embarrassed means that she didn't like being laughed at and she felt a bit silly. So embarrassed, in fact, that she started to blush. That means she went red. Her bill went red. Her bill went red. The rings around her eyes went red. Her legs went red. And her feet went red. And she flew back to the shoe shop with her shoes to change them. Slosh! Her second try at being different was no better than her first. Samantha's rubber boots filled with water and she started to sink. "Save me, Simon! Save me!" she cried. "Oh no, look, she's going down into the water. They're too heavy, they're filling up with water." The other seagulls laughed and laughed and Samantha felt embarrassed. So embarrassed, in fact, that she started to blush and her bill went red, the rings around her eyes went red, her legs and feet went red, and she flew back to the shoe shop with her rubber boots to change them. Then Samantha bought a pair of slippers. Look at her slippers with purple pom-poms. They looked very warm and cosy. "How smart and how different I will be," she said. Wouldn't that be funny, seeing a seagull wearing slippers at the beach with pom-poms? Splash! A wave washed over her slippers and made them wet and soggy. Simon shook his head in dismay. "I do wish you would stop trying to be different," said Simon. "Everyone is laughing at you." But Samantha was determined to be different, and she flew back to the shoe shop with her slippers to change them. So Samantha bought some sandals and she wore them all the time. They seemed to be just the thing. They didn't sink into the sand, and they didn't fill up with water, and they didn't get wet and soggy like her slippers. Samantha felt so different and so pleased with herself that she walked about with her head held high up in the air. She didn't speak to the other seagulls. She didn't even speak to Simon. And Simon was sad. Slip, slippity, slap. One day, when Samantha was strutting along in her sandals, she didn't see the slippery seaweed in front of her, and she fell on her face in the slimy pool, and her sandals sailed high into the air and sank forever in the deep blue sea. And once again, Simon was there to help her put her sandals up in the air. The other seagulls laughed and laughed, and Samantha felt embarrassed. What do you think's going to happen? That's right, she's going to go red again. So embarrassed, in fact, that she started to blush, and her bill went red, the rings around her eyes went red, and her legs and feet went red. But this time, that's how she stayed. So she's not changing, she's red. Ho ho, said Hector the hermit crab. You are certainly different now. Ho ho ho, I told you so. This is too terrible, Samantha said to Simon as she looked at her reflection. That's her reflection when she's looking in the pool of water. It's like if you look in a mirror, you can see yourself. Whatever will I do? Never mind, said Simon as the two silver gulls walked along the shore together. Now you're different in a very different way, and you're even more beautiful. The very most beautiful silver gull in the whole wide world. And you, Simon, said Samantha softly, are very beautiful too. And for the first time in his life, Simon felt embarrassed. So embarrassed, in fact, that he started to blush. And his bill went red, and the rings around his eyes went red, and his legs went red, and his feet went red too. And what's more, that's how they both stayed. And do you know what? With silver gulls, when they are grown up, they change into red. So they have red feet, red legs, red bills, and red around their eyes. But when they are babies, they are grey legs and a grey bill and grey feet. And that's the end of the story. Thanks for listening today at SheNANNAgans, and see you next time. I don't think I'll be at the beach next time. I'll be somewhere else. Bye.